Today I am going to talk on a very specific element which is getting response. And to get this response in a very cultured, curated and interesting way, we are going to witness some phenomenal experience running through your minds. How many of us, and this is a question, so you have to raise your hand, a right hand, to say you know it. How many of us actually know what irradiance means? No hands raised? Great. Now I can put anything on the blind slate and we can talk about it. I'm going to do it in bits and pieces. First, I will talk about the greatest piece of the world, myself, and my journey, and then we will have a mantra which I derived through these years to overcome, come over, and be outstanding. Now let me give you a definition of my few words which I would use in this aspect. One is outstanding. I've been a great and outstanding student. I was always standing out of my classroom. For my talkativeness, for which you called me here, I was always kicked out of the class. Extraordinary. There's so extraordinary thing about me, which was very extraordinary. In the extraordinary, as much that I was the most ordinary in the extras. So when it comes, anybody would consider, "Arey yaar, usko bulao, usko bulao, usko bulao." But this extraordinary person who was most ordinary in extras was never called in. To narrate a very personal experience, we'll start with one element of my learning and my education foundation. I was a very introvert but extraordinarily talkative, mostly talking to myself and talking to individuals who afforded listening to me. Thankfully, all of you. This was from a very small town in Maharashtra. My parents were moved to a new city, which is a so-called metro city, Nagpur. And this was my attempt to get admission for myself in the 7th grade. Took my cycle, started, and that time there were no centralized admissions, centralized things, no exam, no entrance. It was you reach out to the school, they will tell you if they have vacancy and they will get you in. While I started on my bicycle, it got punctured. With my white shirt of the previous school, it got all dirty and all. And I reached the principal's office and I was standing there. And principal was coming out for a break and he just looked at me and said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want admission." Looked at me and I was like, with my dirty face and dirty clothes and the look I had, which was very exhausted. You can imagine 45 degrees temperature in Nagpur, and I have cycled with a puncture cycle, reaching there, fixing it, everything. You could have imagined the mindset of an individual. I was like, lost it. This fellow is not going to turn any switch on for me. And when he looked at me and said, "Get in." Instead of taking his break, he got me in. And he asked me a few questions, which in a limited way I gave him answers. Why, what, all those 5 W's, 1 E and excellent. He said, "Okay, come tomorrow and join the school. This is the best school in Nagpur." And I was like, I messed it up. I got everything wrong which I could get ever. And how could he select me? And that told me one learning. It's not about who you are. It's about whom you are presenting to. Who is that person next to you? All of you, when I'm presenting to you, it doesn't make sense of me boasting and talking about things which inwardly looking I may be great. But if you give time and space to listen to me, I should do justice to it. And at the same time, this what I call as perspective. The beauty is in the eyes of beholder. That apart elements of beauty will keep apart, but when I say this, the interesting element is this. It's not about what is the content, it's about how it's get presented. and what is the window through which everybody of us is looking at it, which is perception. The perception is king. When we talk about this particular phenomena, which we have thematically considered for today, it's very interesting to see that it's not about element of what we want, it's all about the element of what we want to derive. All of you who are sitting here have one interest, to go back with one specific key which you may practice and get better. And I'm going to give my learning of this mantra in the Kavu to VUCA world. Big words, but I think each one of us is as much familiar because of the geopolitical scenario about complexity, uncertainty, ambiguity, and Kavu, volatility. My God, these 4 words are jumbling around us, taking our brain out of our body and making us feel insecure, secured, opportunity mapping, creating landscapes and creating beautiful creative stuff around us. What is this? It's just the perspective of how we look at things, how we develop it, how we go around it, and how we build on it. Few of the learnings, definitely, we are going to talk about are essentially these. Bhai Sahab, all my dear brothers and sisters and elders and everyone around, what we have gone through from my childhood till so-called, I won't disclose my age, but at this point is all about learning through evolution, through experience. What is that learning? Muladhara, when I'm thinking about food and basics. Manomaya, when I'm thinking about mind. Vijnanamaya, when I'm learning science. Jnanamaya, when I'm understanding science. And Anandamaya, when I'm happy. So happy to be here with all you friends, because this graduation transitions you from a very, very basic level of idea to a concept of liberation, moksha. What is this Muladhara? Let's talk about Muladhara. Muladhara is being an embodied version of Panchamakaras. What are these makaras? Muladhara is food, so anything which comes in food. I like meat, I like fish. So, mas, mean, I like money, mudra, I like maithun, I like moha, moksha. And this is the liberation way, but very limited to Muladhara. When we talk about the next level of it, it is Manomaya. I want it all. The world is full of things for me. I need to get grab, collect it and have it all with me. What does next comes? Vijnana. Vijnana means awareness. Awareness is what? I may like everything. How much I can hold? If I start grabbing everything, I like the flower, I like the board, I like this one. Oh, great. My God, this is a big screen. I want it at my home. Start carrying everything from here with a freedom, because now today I am a speaker. Probably a few people won't say anything if I take as much. But how much I am going to hold is the science which teaches us how much we can grab and hold. And then comes is then how much I need. How much I need out of it. And that is typically the evolution, next evolution, which is Jnanamaya. If world is full of this much, I need this much, then what is the rest for? Rest for everyone. Everyone who wants to harness and be in the next zone, which is Anandamaya. A liberated zone. Being happy, being individual, being liberated, and one who could win over the Shadripus. Again, the next concept. What is this? This fellow is throwing only words, but these words mean a lot for us. What are these words? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsara. My God, this is all what I see day in, day out, and every minute in myself. Can anybody help me repeat this? I am always a very, very poor narrator, but I will try. Can anyone help? What is the first one? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. And what are the Panchamakaras? Panchamakaras? Mas, Meena, Mudra, Maithuna, and what's the fifth one? Again, we don't have to worry too much about it. The philosophy is not to learn and mug and what I've been trying to do, but the interest is not about this. The interest is about how do we take charge of this and get ourselves into the Anandamaya Kosha. This light is very, very strong and I am not able to see anybody in front of me. I am standing here, standing here, standing here, standing here. Look at this. When you keep the light behind, you start looking at things around. The light is not something which is the enabler. The enabler is how you position yourselves. Where do you stand so that you can see the spectrum of vision, wave and get a response, and then benchmark yourself. अरे यार अपनी जगह तो ये है, यहाँ चाहिए. But all this, why I am talking? Because we started with M. What was it? What I promised to you? I promised to all of you that I will give you a mantra. And all these other factors starting from M. Panchamakaras, Moh Maya Mithya, the Shadripus, all are very, very scary. And all are very, very powerful to run the world. We have our great friend running the world the way he is looking at it and creating all the geopolitical VUCA for us. We have our other friend who wants to make everybody a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a global family, and who wants to contribute his bit to make the world more creative, collaborative, and collectively considerable to live. Why I am saying this all? Again, this is all because this is the very essence of my mantra. The beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. It's about me. It's about each one of you who wants to contribute and create red rays of the light or the early dawn saffron lights of the thing. And again, don't mistake me that this is something very, very cultural, spiritual, nothing like that. This is all about what you like. This is all about how your brain is cultured and trained to see and identify what is the next graduating level for you. All through. Let me give you my journey, because this is something which I should have given you earlier, but I reserved it for this moment so that again the mantra comes into picture. When I got admitted to this best of school, I was so overwhelmed. I was so impressed that I am a part of this legacy now. And did reasonably okay, but not to my full satisfaction. So I have to take a very early stage career decision to get into a diploma school rather than going for the PU college. Can you imagine? Somebody telling you, you didn't perform that good, so maybe for you it's better to get to a diploma school so that you can survive and get a job? Yes, yes. And at that stage, when I was looking at things, it was very important and essential for me to see and listen to what people are saying, as everyone does. And then I registered, okay, diploma, to diploma, bhai, chalo, lete hai admission. I started my career with a diploma in chemical engineering with refineries as a major. Chemical engineering. That time it was the peakest of the world. Now it's the weakest of the world, but the chemistry still remains. After doing my degree, diploma, I did my degree in or BTech in petrochemicals, masters in food fermentation, PhD in industrial diagnostics, law, because then I was hired by a company which wanted me to get myself trained into intellectual property law, and they got me trained law. Then they offered me a possibility of becoming an MBA, general management program, executive management program, and so on in IIM Bangalore. Then my next employer wanted me to get into a school which was a global school with IIM Bangalore. They wanted to get me certified from IIM Bangalore and TBS, Toulouse Business School, France. All these certifications I kept building. And what was one thing which was so common? What was the common thing? I just missed on. I guess the common thing in all these things was my appetite to learn. How am I building on it, leveraging on it, and ready for being the next learner? Each of you, right now at this stage in your career, which is yet to begin, but you already have stepped into, are all thinking about what next, what next, what next. There is no next. The next is delta. And I will again come back to a very good analogy, because this will tell us the rat race, or this will train us a rat race. Okay, let's start. सबसे पहली बात, oh, we are not getting kid, we are not getting kid, we are not getting kid. We are not getting kid, really? We are going to get a kid. Oh, the next question, बेटा होगा बेटी होगी, son or daughter? That anyway is a blind, but when he comes over on the earth, we start looking at, ये बोल नहीं रहा है, अरे यार, he is not talking. Sometimes it may be a difficulty, but yeah, he is not talking. The next comes is, he is not walking. Oh, he is not walking. Next comes is, he is not learning. Oh, he is not scripting ABCD, FGS, YZ. Oh, the moment is, he is not the school topper. The school topper, he is not the best in class. He is in the best in class, he is now all-rounder. He is not graduating from the best school. He graduates from the best school. Next comes is a good job, good job, good job. A good job, a good house, a good wife, a good car, and then again a son. A good son, good son, good son, good son. What is it? This is the trap. This is the trap, which is the essential challenge of domain diluted deltas identified and driving us all. Let's not be a part of trap. The mantra is very simple. Essentially, what we are looking at is not about benches and empty benches or the people who are sitting at it. What we are looking at is the next level of maturity. Out of all these makaras, out of all these things, the perspective, where to get myself enlightened to next. And as my colleague Mr. Joshi spoke about, Vinayaka spoke about, the essential element is being in now and getting into the next level there. So the mantra is simple: be there, be creative, be collective in harnessing the wisdom and leverage the world for good. Thank you.